Peace and blessings, everyone. So, happy Tuesday. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous about doing this video because I want to do it justice. And I know I've been talking about in my previous videos, I've been wanting to really do this. It's suicide prevention. All right, really gonna do this. The reason I've not necessarily been procrastinating on doing it, but it's triggering for me because as somebody who has committed suicide throughout her life, it just brought up a lot of memories and stuff. So it's really been triggering, but I'm gonna tell you what made me like really do it. So the other day, yesterday as a matter of fact, I'm just minding my own damn business, just tidying up the living room, and a passing thought, just a thought, like it could be it was just something as subtle as just I just didn't want to be here. And it's just from, something that's just currently going on with myself. And I know I'm going through like a depressive mood. And it's really brought on by a combination of things that are currently going on coupled with hormonal. And it just brought me to a place of like a glory tear just came down my face, and I was just like, well, goddamn. And I really had a choice to make. A choice of I went into my bedroom and I looked at my bed, and now I'm talking about the bed was calling me. It was really calling me. And I had my hamper full of clean clothes. And I looked at my sports bra. And I had two choices to make. I was either about to lay in my bed, put the covers back on my head, and just give into my depression and go down that rabbit hole. Or I was going to grab my sports bra, put it on, and take my ass outside and go walk. Now, I really didn't feel like doing either one, but I would have rather just taken the walk. At least with the walk, I know that the domino effect of the walk would have been take the walk, because I know that the walk would, at the end, is going to make me feel better. And in my mind, I knew that, all right, if I take this walk, I typically do about between a mile. My goal was just to do a mile. I ended up doing 3 miles. I ain't saying that to brag. It's just, I ended up doing 3 miles. And that set the course for the rest of the day. I ended up going to the grocery store because I needed more water because it was hot as fuck yesterday. I needed some water, so I ended up going to the grocery store. I ended up meeting up with my homeboy. Went to Sam's, running errands. Ended up going to Spectrum to go get me a box, a DVR box, because I wanted to watch Love and Hip Hop. Got me a box of wine because I was gonna have me a box of wine, some fancy, prosciutto with some cheese and some crackers, because I was just gonna make it a fancy bougie night, watching something ratchet on TV with my glass of wine, and that was like my reward for a job well done for getting through the day. And it all started with making that choice, that fork in the road, and that choice of Was I going to lay in the bed with the covers over my head, or was I going to run, or was I going to walk? And I chose to walk. See what I'm saying? It's hard. I know it's hard. It is fucking hard dealing with depression and anxiety and your mood swings and all of that is fucking difficult. It is fucking difficult. Especially when you have that thought or when you have that feeling that you don't want to be here no more. And there are different degrees of it. There's levels to the shit. Because I've been on that spectrum of on the low end where it's just a fleeting thought. But it still hurts. But I've also been on that end where it's strong. Where you sitting up in the fucking corner, when you laying on the floor, rocking back and forth, crying, your eyes out, and it just feels like the world is going to end. The pain is so strong. You just have this anguish, this undescribable pain. And the only way that you're going to get rid of this pain, is by taking your own life. And nobody will understand it. Nobody will understand it. Nobody will. So, that is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about suicide prevention and planning. We're going to talk about it. So, first of all, we're going to talk about some common myths and some facts. So, during the certified peer specialist training, we came across and this is where I'm going to be kind of reading from, so bear with me, some myths and some facts. And I thought this was very, very beneficial, and again, some of this stuff might be triggering, so I do apologize. So you can always pause. I'm gonna pause, and if I throw out some, I do a lot of the laugh to keep from crying or from being upset. That's just how I deal with things, so bear with me. So here's a myth. There is nothing that can be done if someone wants to take their own life. That's a myth. That's a myth. Suicide is preventable. People who consider suicide don't necessarily want to die. They just want the pain to stop. And that is so true. Like, the way that I think about feelings, and this is just something that I've learned over the years, is that feelings are dynamic, meaning that they change. Feelings are dynamic. They change constantly. They may feel like they're static and that they're going to stay the same, but they are dynamic. So keep that in mind. How you may feel 1 minute, you're not going to feel like that. It's not always going to be true. And that's something that I had to get my very, very close friends, and I'll say this is something I had to get my mom to understand. Like, anytime that when I had those suicidal thoughts and feelings that it is just, and I had to learn this over time, and even in therapy and group therapy and individual therapy, is that it's just a feeling. You just want the pain to stop, because at that time it's just you in this black dark hole, and it's just there's no end in sight. No matter what you do at that time, it's just you try to drink it away, you try to smoke it away, you try to fuck it away, like Salon say, you just want that pain to stop, and nothing else is stopping it. and you feel like this is the only way out. It's not the only way out, honey. It's not the only way out, man. And but there are other options, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Here's another myth. People who consider suicide are crazy. No, it's not true. And if you are someone if you're a loved one and you are trying to help somebody, don't tell them that. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Most people who attempt suicide have medical conditions or a chemical imbalance that puts them at risk for suicide. It can result from prolonged or intense stress. It can result from health conditions like depression, heart disease, or diabetes. It could be a side effect from medications. It could be from changing hormone levels. It can even be from alcohol or drug use. So keep in mind, anytime, especially those who are taking antidepressants, antipsychotics, anti-anxiety medications, or even like some of like diabetes medications, any type of medications that you're on, I do not recommend drinking alcohol. Remember, alcohol is a downer. It's a downer. It's not an upper. It's a downer. So another thing you want to keep in mind, when you're taking an antidepressant and you're already depressed, pay attention to those side effects. Side effects may include, it's unfortunate, but when you're taking a antidepressant, a lot of those medications cause suicidal thoughts and ideations. So if you're taking an antidepressant, a lot of times those medications will cause you to be more depressed and cause suicidal thoughts. Boggles my fucking mind why. I'll save my ranting. But then that's why they say don't drink while taking an antidepressant or an antipsychotic or lithium or any of those medications, because it's only going to add fuel to the fire. And of course, if you're, taking any type of street drug, then you're basically stacking and you're only making the situation worse. Also, hormones. So women, you already know how it is when you're PMSing, or if you're taking birth control, or if you just had a baby. So anything, hormones, even men, hormones. Your hormones are going to contribute, are going to contribute to your mental health. It is what it is. I just highly recommend doing your research. Make sure you're doing your due diligence. Do your research and really, do your research. I am going to be doing more videos. Bear with me. So, here's another myth. Talking about suicide will encourage people to do it. That's bullshit. I say not talking about suicide. Knowledge is power. The more you talk about it, the more you look things up with reputable research. Research has shown that asking someone in crisis about their intentions and plans does not encourage them to do it. It's important to take any talk about wanting to. It is important to take any talk about wanting to die seriously. Don't joke about it, and don't dare them to do it. This is very serious, and it's triggering for me because unfortunately, this is something that did happen to me. I confided in somebody when I was going through a situation where I was suicidal, and I confided in somebody. They dared me to do it. I did it. And I ended up in the hospital. I ended up in the hospital uh, um, for several days, and then I ended up, you know, in a psychiatric hospital for 24 hours, and yeah, yeah. So please don't dare them to do it. You know, if you feel like you're not in the right mind to help them, get them the help that they need. Find somebody. Um, find somebody. I'm going to provide numbers here in a moment, but find somebody. If you know you can't help them, find them somebody. I would just say that, but do not dare them to do it. When somebody is in a crisis, don't dare them to fucking do it. People who attempt suicide are weak at character. That's not fucking true. Don't tell them that. Do not tell them that they're weak. Don't tell them that they're going to hell. Don't do any of that shit. Thinking about, planning for, or attempting suicide has nothing to do with one's character. Good people can experience depression and suicidal thoughts. We're human. We're human. The mind is an incredible thing, and it can do some wonderful and terrible things at the same time. I would just say that. People who talk about wanting to die won't really do it. That is a myth. People who talk about wanting to die won't really do it. Talking about wanting to die, not having a reason to live, and being a burden to others are warning signs for suicide. It should be taken seriously. I I had mixed feelings about this. I had mixed feelings. I think that's subjective. Moving on. People who are suicidal will always be suicidal. People who get treatment may never become suicidal ever again. In the short term, people who do attempt suicide may try repeated attempts. Follow-up care is very important for someone who has attempted suicide. There is so many treatments available, for medication, to therapy, for a holistic approach. I mean, the possibilities are endless. That's why I always say, do your due diligence, do your research. It is so much shit out here. Like the technology, the technological advancements are just astronomical. From the time that I got diagnosed, like even 10, 11 years ago to now, have like just come a long way. So I would just say, you know, just do your research. Young people, here's another myth. Young people are the ones who usually take their own lives. That's not true. Great example, Robin Williams. Suicide rates are much higher for adults than for youths. The suicide rate is highest for adult men. Their deaths do impact young people. Counseling can often help a family who has experienced a loss due to suicide. So think about it. Like, suicide not only affects the person that has committed the suicide, but it does affect the family. And if, of course, you know, the kids are involved, the wife, it affects everyone. Suicide affects everyone. It affects everyone. Young, old, whomever. It affects everyone. So if your loved one, if you know somebody, the biggest thing is be as supportive, as loving, as compassionate as you can be. Remember, Don't say stupid shit like, oh, you're going to hell, you're weak. Be as objective as have an open heart, have an open mind. Don't say stupid shit. Don't dare them. If you feel like you can't help them, find somebody who can. Find somebody who can. Here's a number. National Suicide Lifeline. 800-273-8255. National Suicide Lifeline. 800-273-8255. They are there 24/7, 365, and on leap year 366. No excuses. There is always somebody there available to help. If you are feeling sad, if you have a suicidal thought, if you don't want to talk to somebody, you can text. We in the texting age. You can text. I'm licking my fingers because I'm trying to find a number right now. You can text these days because I get it. You don't want to talk to somebody. You don't want to talk to a stranger. You don't have to. So you can text crisis text line. You could text HOME, home, to 741-741. You could text home to 741-741. This is a national not-for-profit. They provide 24/7 crisis support. 24/7, 365 on leap year 366. Home, HOME, to 741-741. For now, this is just the suicide myths and facts. I'm going to do another video where I provide more information. Again, to recap, don't say stupid shit. Don't tell them you're going to hell. Don't dare them to do it. Open up the dialogue. Open up the dialogue, people. Suicide is not just for youth. Suicide is not just for white folks. Black people do it too. It doesn't have a color. It doesn't have a nationality, a religion, a creed. It doesn't have any of that. It happens. It happens. Our brains is it's a phenomenal, finicky, crazy, but beautiful, beautiful thing. And I know the subject, when we hear suicide, it's like, you know, it's a daunting subject. It is what it is, but it's life. It fucking sucks. So many people have lost their lives. Hell, I've almost lost my life to it. But it happens. Let's end this stigma. Let's open up the dialogue. Because it happens. How do we feel? I know this was a lot. I know it's a lot, and I hope I did it some justice, but yeah, hit me up, slide into my DMs. You know how to hit me up. You can also hit me up at Peace of Mind, PEACE of OF MIND 0514@gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, grievances, or if you need resources in the Missouri, or I'll just say in the Missouri area, because I don't know much about Illinois, even though I'm close, I don't know shit about it. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, grievances, or if you just need to talk, I am here because I'm a certified peer specialist. Whoop, whoop. And yeah, I love you guys. Just remember, Drink your water so your black don't crack. And wear your sunscreen to keep your melanin popping. Love you. Peace.